Welcome to the Boisterous Brothers. I'm Georg Rockall-Schmidt here with Damian and Benedict. How are you today, Damian?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, good. I'm very glad. And what have you been up to this week? Been getting around, choding around?
Choding around, yes.
Nosing around with your chode out the front?
We can't really get it out the front. I mean, best intentions. It is a chode after all. I can undo my fly, but
So
there's no dramatic reveal.
Last year when Damian came out to see me, he revealed what a chode is. Didn't you? I didn't
Yes, yeah. That was.
What is a chode?
It is a penis which is wider than it is long.
That cannot exist. Basically, it doesn't have a shaft.
Yeah, that or it has to be quite wide, I suppose. Maybe it's like it has to be like a flat helmet, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a stocky thing, is it? It's
Oh.
yeah. Well, anyway, we start the Boisterous Brothers every time with an anecdote. That has nothing to do with my anecdote, but there you
Let's
go.
hope not.
Yeah, it just so happens. So my anecdote is very, very brief. I had a friend who, you know him or you knew him very, very briefly. He was a peculiar guy because he was extremely obsessed with fitness. He later became a Marine. Yeah, you know who it is. Yeah. And fair play to him. He was extremely fit, and I guess he was extremely up for all the military stuff. You know, running over things, running under things, running away from things, running towards things. Lots of running.
Yeah, it sounds very complicated as well.
I think it was very exhausting for him. But bizarrely, he kind of wasn't what you would envision a Marine necessarily to be. He definitely hulked out and everything, but he was quite camp. And he definitely had a very camp sense of humour. And for a Marine, like I say, he became a Marine. I think he is a Marine now still. He hated mud. He was very squeamish. He didn't like to touch animals and things like that. He was a nervous driver and all this. He had a girlfriend who owned a number of guinea pigs. You know what a guinea pig is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because I don't know if there's another name for it where you come from brain jail name or something. So anyone who doesn't know, a guinea pig is like a rabbit, but it has extreme paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's always going like that, right? Like a little pig. But it's a pig that is in perpetual distress.
I mean, I have heard stories. I have not witnessed it firsthand, but
Right.
yeah.
But you have seen a guinea pig.
Yes, I am aware of the noises that they make as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Give us a noise. Give us a guinea pig noise.
It's exactly that.
Raw.
Raw. I don't need to debase myself with this.
Go on.
No.
Come on. Come on. Yes.
That's
like
the best I can do.
Jesus.
No, I didn't really try, in all fairness. So.
It's like you'd got your hips trapped in a picket fence and big old Bill had come down the road with his... Anyway, never mind. A bottle of Ajax. So, he had this girlfriend, long-term girlfriend, but they were both like 16 or whatever. And I guess they were in this weird routine where like he would help her with her chores when they both got home from school. So he would like feed her guinea pigs and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
And he was kind of all right with this, and he didn't want her to know how
much of a pussy he was.
How much of a pussy he was, yeah. Because he didn't want to touch the guinea pigs. I don't blame him. They're fucking disgusting. Guinea pig, ugh. But anyway, one day she said, "Can you cut their nails?" Right?
He's not gonna he didn't slice one of their hands off, did he?
Yes, he did.
What?
Yeah.
You've got to be fucking shitting
he
me.
cut one of their hands off.
How did that happen?
Because he's a fucking idiot, right? And he just kind of like put some straw on it and then left. You know what I mean?
Oh my fucking word! And what was that? Was that it? Was that the end of their relationship? Never returned.
She never knew it was him. She thought like one of them had bitten it. One of the other ones had bitten it off.
Fuck off!
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah.
That is horrific.
I don't know if he cut a hand off, but definitely several fingers.
Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because he said there was a lot of blood for like how small it was.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Did he ever fess up? Did she ever find
No,
out?
He never fessed up.
Oh,
No way.
yeah. Well, I suppose so.
You wouldn't.
I don't know what. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I
figured you were going to say you made a beeline for the kitchen with it and like tried to cauterize it on the fucking hob and like set fire to the rest of it.
I don't know. But yeah, he did that. What would you have done? Because I kind of think what he did was was kind of right. I mean, the first thing I would have done is I wouldn't have fucking cut its hand off.
Mm-hmm.
But the second thing I would have done is, probably, I'd have probably said, like, I don't know what's happened, but one of them's bleeding.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, though.
I would fess up pretty quickly because I just don't think I personally feel like I wouldn't be able to get away with that.
Yeah, the pressure would probably get to you. They'd probably find you swinging from a rafter one day afterwards or something like that. Yeah, do you think you could get away with it? Because he did.
Well,
but,
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's one of those things you kind of have to kind of gauge. I mean, I don't know how dumb his girlfriend was, but
I don't know. I don't know if she was dumb. I mean, I guess if you're there, like, I don't know what happened. I suppose it depends how good of a liar you are.
I don't know, what was he? Did he mention what he was using to cut like the nails? Because
it was a lawnmower. No, I don't know what he was using, but I imagine it was like not pliers, but wire cutters or something.
I mean, I've just been imagining it in my head with like traditional human nail clippers. I mean, they've got really tiny hands, so I imagine he must have slipped the whole hand in it, just like clunk.
I don't know what he was doing. I mean, if you ask me, it's kind of weird that they need their nails cutting. They did live outside in this, not nest, but a guinea pig nest. Gonna have to clear out this guinea pig nest. What would you call it?
I don't know. Well, they would just have a shack, wouldn't they?
A shack, the guinea pig shack. Yeah, definitely needed some
new guinea warren or something.
New double glazing, guinea hold. Yeah, so I don't know. Have you ever done something like that? Have you ever been in a position where you've done something by accident that if your girlfriend found out, she would dump you? Because my friend's girlfriend would have dumped him if he.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, that is horrific. I don't.
At the very least, it's going to be some hassle.
Yeah. No, I haven't had anything like that. But I mean, when it comes to pets and stuff, I remember, like my mum and her boyfriend at the time took me round to. They were going over to a friend's house for drinks. People that I never saw before that night or never saw again.
Uh-huh.
And they had a.
But you saw them that night.
Yeah. But they had a son who was a couple of years older than me at the time.
And you raped him.
I was like 13, and this guy was a fucking yob. But you had to.
No. How old was he?
He must have been like 15, 16.
Oh, so he was older than you.
Yeah.
So he raped you.
Oh god, yeah. But he had a pet rat, and
he had a pet rat.
Yeah.
What sort of fucking human being has a rat for a pet?
Well, my dad. But
your dad had a pet rat?
Well, not really. He had a kitchen that was infested with a fucking huge rat, but he liked it and would like leave food out for it.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Forget the kid who owns the rat. That's just a phase. Your dad, your father, while you were in your 20s.
This would have been 2021, something like that.
He had a rat who was living in his kitchen, a massive one, which he would leave food out for.
Oh, gotcha. My dad's a big kind of animal lover, earth mother.
Not John. That's not an animal lover. That's a crazy person.
Yeah, he named it Jack as well, Jack the rat. It would like fucking.
Did it have a backstory?
I'm sure it did, but he never elaborated on it. But you kind of see there was the look in the eye.
Yeah. Did he ever do?
I mean, he was legitimately upset when the rat stopped coming or just died or whatever.
He was upset when the rat stopped coming.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Not like mourning, but he was, he was aware it wasn't there anymore. He was. Yeah.
That's mental illness. That's going to be my catchphrase whenever we talk about your dad. That's mental illness. That's crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was.
Why did it stop coming? Was someone leaving better food out for it?
No, I mean, it was a huge fucking rat.
You sure it wasn't a cat?
Yeah, the thing was either caught or it just dies. The rats don't exactly have a long lifespan, and this thing was fucking huge. So.
Yeah, right. So
yeah.
It was probably ready to just burst, and out come little rats.
Yeah.
And you only had one rat? Because it was like King Rat, it was in charge of the kitchen, right?
Yeah, I think it did probably kept quite a few away, actually. I remember there was a point a few years before when we had like quite a few small rats running around, but when this thing there was nothing. There was only signs of this one rat ever running around. And I caught it once, and it was head to tail. Like fucking like that. It's one of the biggest rats I've ever seen.
Like what? For radio? Like what?
I'd say a good like a foot and a half long.
Yeah, for European people, like what?
I don't know, like 2 meters.
2 meters. It was 8 fathoms long. That is crazy as fuck. But have you ever destroyed something of your girlfriend's though?
No. I've never been in a position like that.
Just her rat. All right, I'm sorry about that. I would like to apologise now to everyone who heard me say that. Now it's time for Bilgewater. Dad's rat. Jesus fucking Christ.
Hello, the Boisterous Brothers. This week, the Chinese Navy confiscated a U.S. submarine. However, the submarine was in international waters and was unmanned. So if you're going to throw away your toys, I think that sounds like fair dibs. This would have never have happened if you'd have had a couple of sailor types on board with a harpoon gun or two. Also, US President Barry Obama came out and accused Russia of rigging the election. Well, kind of. Any solid accusation could mean there has to be a recount, or even more boring, another election. Let's just be done with it and elect ourselves a king for life, said UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon. Yours reportedly, Lieutenant-Colonel Anonymous Bilgewater.
Frasier is at odds with his sexuality after a series of lascivious dreams about his co-worker, the restaurant dandy, who, from this episode onwards, he refers to affectionately as Mummy. Frasier spirals into self-loathing upon the realization that he is now a man. This episode's conflict is resolved very quickly when his homophobic father says no. Frasier theorizes that this dream is symptomatic of his subconscious urge to doink his deceased mother. Frasier does not elaborate on this, however, enough.
Okay, well, don't get me wrong, that was a very good Frasier. It was a very nice Frasier. But we didn't quite finish, I realised. You hadn't told us about this kid with the rat. I was distracted by your father being...
Well, a mental.
A mental, someone who's in need of help.
Yeah, I mean, my dad is pretty much a shut-in. I'm surprised. I think he's trying to become something out of a Disney movie where he's a friend to all animals,
Yeah.
Puts his arm out, and I think he really does want to, like, a Robin Redbreast to kind of land on it. He sings to it.
Yeah.
I think he feels the same way about the rat. So,
Yeah. Yeah, like that Disney movie, Snow White, friend of the rat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were talking about your friend, not your friend, the older boy, the bigger boy.
Yeah.
Who had a rat.
Yeah. This is someone else that, on the same kind of topic of, like, destroying a pet. He had this pet rat, and he was a real thug. This little this guy.
Little rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was you fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
But he was
He was there in his bother boots. Little bother boots.
Oh yeah, this like rat was a skinhead as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Head was completely bald, and you can see a tiny little swastikas on.
Yeah. Cute.
Oh yeah, it was adorable. Loved it.
Yeah. I mean, shameful but cute.
Yeah. But this kid was showing me how he can make his rat squeak, and I'd never really heard a rat make a noise before. I assumed they were for the most part wholly silent.
And it went. Argh!
Roared like a fucking lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he gets out of this cage and he sets it on the ground. He's just kind of got in his head, and he's just like squeaking it. He would squeeze its chest, and each time it would squeak. Yeah. It was kind of cute at first, but he'd start amping it up.
Why?
Because
to achieve another squeak. He was chasing the squeak.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I guess I got the impression that he does this quite a lot with this rat.
It was just a toy then. It was just like a rubber dog toy or something that he had.
Yeah.
That's why he had the rat, to squeak it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Invest in Play-Doh, that's what I say. Love a bit of Play-Doh.
Well, maybe that's what this kid saw, really. He was just off the fucking charts.
Yeah, like when he saw you, he just saw like someone with a fruit bowl for a head walk in and all of that. And, like his bed wasn't a bed at all. It was just a massive Toblerone.
I sleep in a racing car. But yeah, he's getting carried away. I think he's showing off a little bit, and he's clearly, as I say, yobbish. So he's giving it more and more, and this thing is yelping louder and louder and louder. And it gets to a point where he really does just like clamp his hand down on this fucking rat. And it
didn't bite him.
No, it's the way he was holding him.
Right.
So his kind of like paws were kind of... He couldn't reach around and get his hand.
Right.
I think he'd already dealt with being bitten by this rat before, so he knew how to fucking grab it.
Right.
And yeah, he basically just closes his fucking palm up on it, and the noise it made was fucking horrible, and just mangled it. I mean, its ribs must have been broken.
Yeah.
He puts it back down, and he can't walk.
And then I know you never saw these people again, but what happened to the rat? I mean, you must
I have
have...
absolutely no idea. I mean, this was pretty much as I was leaving as well. When I had nothing to say to him. I just kind of was like, massively fucking uncomfortable. I get called, it's time to leave, and I don't say anything, don't bother saying goodbye or nothing like that. And I was fucking horrific.
Were you scared?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I cried in the back of the car when we left. I was so upset.
And you were 18.
Oh, God, yeah. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and yes, you were 38, and you were trying. He was trying to scare you, or he?
No, he was just a loot. He thought it was funny. He thought it was
right.
funny. He was just playing with it in his fucking head. I mean, I'm sure this kid had been in like quite a few fights at school. I think he kind of fancied
Yeah, he was a
himself
rough
like
kid.
that. Yeah,
right,
yeah. But
wow, that's
no, he wasn't posturing or anything like that. Or maybe I didn't think of it like that. I was just fucking mortified.
yeah. Well, there you go. You know.
Yeah, I don't. But I don't know what happened to the rat. I don't know how he his parents didn't know about it when I left, and I don't know what the fallout was ever going to be. And
Right, I mean, because I guess if you're 15, I don't know, but I imagine like if my son had a pet, maybe not rat, like a pet hamster or something. Like if my 15-year-old son had a pet hamster, I would never ask about that pet hamster. Right? I would never say, "How's your pet hamster?" I don't care. You know, if you come to me and say my pet hamster's dead, the only thing I'm going to say is, "How did it die?" And unless you say, "Well, I was squeezing it," then I'd probably say, "Well, I'll get you a new one then."
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe his parents wouldn't know.
Ah.
This can't be the first rat he's squeezed to death.
Well, you never know. Well, maybe. I hadn't considered that. But I mean, like they invested quite a bit in this rat because it had a huge cage, a lot of like fucking obstacles and shit.
Yeah, but you
toys
can get another rat.
I know that, but I mean, like they would have spent,
Yeah.
I would say 3 figures on these cages and bits and bobs. So,
But like when he squeezed the rat, then and he put it back in and it wasn't moving. Did he express not regret, but kind of wonder, like, oh, it can't move, or was it just?
Yeah, he kind of laughed at it.
Wow.
But I don't remember if it's time kind of seemed a little bit desperate, like he was trying to seem like it was really funny, but he knew he fucked up.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, well, I kind of understand that a bit more. Like, I've not done that to a rat, but I've definitely done things where it's kind of like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
My mum's going to find out, and I have to pretend that I don't know I've done something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. Wife. Whatever. So, Frasier, then. This Frasier was about a dream that Frasier has, a wacky dream.
Many dreams.
Many dreams. Have you had a wacky dream with Cool Whip?
I've had many batshit dreams, but I mean, on the spot.
Have you ever had any gay dreams?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About me?
No. I do better than that. In my head.
In your head, yeah.
In my head.
I'm quite the catch. I mean, I will be.
I will be in like 20 years.
In 20 years, yeah. I will be in 20 years.
When I get all my kind of defining lines.
I will look fucking good when I'm old. I mean, that's the only shot I've got. Go on, then. Tell us about one of your weirder dreams, then.
I mean, on the spot, I can't.
You can't. Come on, you knew you were going to do this. Come on, there's something you're hiding, isn't there? There's some dark dream in Damian's subconscious that you know you want to talk about. You want to give it to us. I remember I was laying down once when I was like 18 or 19. I was laying on the couch and I woke up, but I couldn't move. But my eyes were open, but I couldn't move any part of my body.
Yeah, I've had those. That's fucking terrifying.
And like something came out of the top corner of the room, like it was a hallucination, and it was a gargoyle, and it spoke in a language I'd never heard before.
I would hope that's a fucking hallucination.
But I could understand. I could understand what it was saying. But yeah, that was like the weirdest dream I've had. It was a waking dream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, waking dream.
I would say that's the weirdest, but I've had those, and they
Yeah,
are
it
absolutely
was the weirdest dream
terrifying.
I've had. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say it's the weirdest dream I've ever had. But
Yeah, I never said it was the weirdest dream you ever had.
All right.
Idiot.
All right, fucking.
Go on then.
I'm not interested in sharing anymore. All right, it just puts me in the fucking firing line, and it fucking hurts every time.
Come on.
This is going to be an evening. It's going to be a long fucking
You
entry
know
in my
I'm
journal.
nice to you, big head. Come on.
No.
You've worked really well on the fat on the back of your neck, so looking good.
Are you fucking cunt? Did you wait till I was drinking?
Didn't even notice. I mean, you're always eating something. You're just putting something in your mouth.
I had a lot of dreams when I'm like flayed alive and stuff like that.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I remember like the first time I
And you can feel it?
Yeah, I'm convinced that sometimes I kind of feel pain. I had one dream when I was maybe like 10, something like that, where I remember looking at my hand and like cutting off a finger with a knife. I was convinced I could feel the pain.
I don't think I've ever had a dream like that.
Yeah.
Where I've hurt myself. No.
Oh.
What do you mean? Oh.
Oh. Maybe it's just me. Maybe there's something really, really wrong.
No, I imagine that it's more like that's completely healthy, because like on some level you hate yourself, but I'm just like in my dreams like
No, I'm perfect.
yeah, I'm perfect.
No work to be done here.
Yeah, I'm like the Quaker on Quaker Oats. I am like that satisfied. I've just filled my pants with shit,
Yeah.
and I love it. That's my subconscious.
Yeah. I do remember one dream I was like trapped under the like wheels of a train. I mean, like my body was like bifurcated from the waist.
Mm-hmm.
What happened next was I was rescued, and
The top half of you was rescued.
top half of me was rescued. Yeah, no one was wasting time on my lower half at all.
No,
Much like life.
I don't know. You know, I mean, if you're on it and everything, that could be a good pair of shoes that you've just got yourself.
Yeah, they're not saving my legs though. They're after the shoes.
Yeah,
Surely.
yeah, after the shoes. Yeah, I mean, were your legs still attached?
I didn't see my legs in all
I
fairness.
mean, by attached, I mean attached to each other.
I think maybe.
Because then, then you might as well go after them because you're going to get two shoes. Go after one leg, what's the point of that? I suppose you might have your wallet and your jeans.
Maybe.
Or
I don't think
something,
those players were prevalent in this dream though. That would be. Yeah,
It's more of an OT9 sort of thing.
OT9.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when I get rescued, I turn around and see who has rescued me, and it is Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
But I can distinguish who it is.
Yeah.
But
But only just.
But only just because his face was melting.
And his face was melting like it's under a heat lamp or something, like
Kind
it's wax
of.
or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It's just like really old, kind of dusty kind of flesh, just kind of flaking off and.
Oh, it's flaking off, right.
Well, it's a weird mix of both, really.
Right.
It was a dream that's completely fucking nuts.
And you remember this quite vividly.
Only this bit. I know that it was quite a long dream, and the rest of it was fucking batshit as well. But I cannot, for the life of me.
And were you scared?
No, no, not really.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I do remember quite clearly being sliced in half and trapped under a train, but it wasn't. It's not what I would call a nightmare. It wasn't very distressing, but it's still fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty fucked up.
And that's just. I think that was like, yeah, that's just a snippet of what actually happened in that dream that evening. It was. Ooh.
Right. I mean, I don't want to get too kind of technical on things, but I remember reading something that somebody had written, like a doctor had written this very long piece aimed at the layman, to explain the meaning of dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially what he said was they don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like if you're worried and you're worried in your dream, that you're worried in your dream because you're worried, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're constantly thinking about something, as I am, like YouTube or work or whatever, and you dream about that, that's just a sign that you're worried about it or you're occupied about it. If you dream about someone, maybe you thought about them in the day. Like I often have that. I often find that I'll think about someone I haven't thought about for years, and then I'll have a dream where they appear or something. But apart from that, it's completely meaningless. It's just bullshit your mind comes up with.
Good.
Yeah.
That's reaffirming because otherwise, no.
Unless something about a train and the director of the room, but I don't know what that is.
No, that's like one of those you must be like super gay dreams, something like that.
You're
but like
super
gay for all your parents and at the same time.
Gay for all your parents, like
all of them, all 8 of them.
Super incestuous gay dreams. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think that dreams are good, but dreams can also be bad. Yeah,
Definitely.
That's the good thing. Isn't it wonderful that we dream? Also, I've had lucid dreams.
Oh, yeah?
I have had dreams that I can control. And I know that if I started to kind of really try and do it, after a lot of practice, I could control my dreams.
Right, okay.
Because I've done it, like, twice, where I've controlled my dreams and, taken it down different avenues and stuff. Totally not worth it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's
wrong with your life if you need to do that? Because you're in a fucking dream. The good bit about being in a dream is you wake up and you go, oh, God, thank God that didn't happen. Or the opposite, which has happened to me as well, like, I was so close to being happy, but then I woke up.
Yeah, I get those quite a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't get the point of lucid dreams.
I think I've had a couple, but where I'm very much aware that I'm dreaming, but kind of controlling it. Like you try flying or doing this, that, and the other. It never really kind of works. It's never satisfying.
And I don't have dreams where I see things like that. Like,
it's like one thing I can't do in a dream is fire a weapon.
Well, okay, all right, that's a bit different. But what I was going to say is, like, if you watch Inception and it's like, oh, I dreamed up this city and now the
Yeah,
city's
yeah.
bending and stuff. I don't dream like that. I don't dream objects
No.
and things. I mean, I couldn't describe you what the floor looked like in my dreams. My dreams don't have a floor. It's not in a it's not in a physical place.
Yeah.
My dreams. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So there you go. Except when they are. All right. So now it's time for.
Hieronymus Swash.
Join Hieronymus Swash and Mamo as they continue their journey in this week's instalment of The Case of the Curse of the Ruby Garnet, Part 7.
Hurry, Mau. We have to get to the top of this volcano before the Ruby Garnet.
I'm going as fast as I can, boss.
Give it some gas, man.
Look, they're passing it to that motorcyclist. The road's too narrow for the jeep.
Well, we'll have to stop. Look, a miner with horses. You, miner, give us those horses.
Oh, I cannot. It is forbidden for me to leave this horse or any of its silver.
Private dick business. Get on, Mau. Giddy up. Mush. Avanti, you swine. Mau, my horse isn't moving.
Pronto, my acquaint friend. It seems these horses are trained only to respond to certain commands.
We don't have time for this, Mau. Revive the miner.
He's out cold, boss.
Well, in him hot. Ha ha! What a beautiful play on words.
Maybe he has some energy giver. Look, Peruvian marching powder. Okay, hold on. I'll get on my horse and you hold on to the lead. Maybe this one will pull the other. Okay, horse. Sniff the powder. Ah!
Jesus Christ! Mau! Jesus Christ!
Meanwhile, at the top of the volcano, our two heroes are yet to be seen.
Darling, once we have the Ruby Garnet, you and I will reign over this kingdom as kings.
Oh, I cannot wait! Free at last from wretched poverty, and all that is needed is but the final stone in the plinth suspended over this fiery volcano. How exciting! Like horse camp.
Yes, like horse camp.
Professor, love me some gold. Here is the Ruby Garnet.
All went as well as I expected, of course.
Yes, Professor, but Bert died. The doc said he might have had heart failure.
Not Bert. I owe him $15 for the henchman miner mixer tickets.
I could give it to his next of kin for you.
Hold it right there, love me some gold.
Swash!
Ugh.
Did you just club Harris to death? He's been here for 3 years.
He's fine. Just a little dazed is all. A pickaxe handle to the face will do that to a man.
He's bleeding out of his ears.
You'll be bleeding out of your ears if you don't hand over the Ruby Garnet.
Yes, how droll, but gun trumps bat.
Yes, but Mau trumps gun.
Ah!
Good job, Mau.
Thanks, boss.
Quick, my little cow, the Ruby Garnet!
Free, Swash! I'll blow you away! I'll blow you away like leaf on a train track.
Like a teardrop in the rain.
Yes, thank you, Mau.
But why, Lady Telephone? Why betray your family like this?
That infernal Ruby Garnet has brought my family nothing but bad luck ever since we stole it from the greedy peasants who tried so hard to hide it in their smallpox wounds. It's about time it made itself useful, and my foolish brother isn't going to do anything with any money other than waste it on building hospitals and orphanages.
She doesn't need to explain herself to you, Swash, you dick.
I may be a dick, but I'd rather be a dick than a man with bad diction, which is what you will have when I beat the teeth out of your mouth.
And now to die.
Oh, no you don't. To be pleased, let's be having you.
It's the jolly Indian we met at the plane.
And he's brought an army of other miners.
Now back off. I am your king. Quick, my love, stand by the plinth.
You're not our bloody king until the garnet is in the plinth. Quick, everyone, seize him.
Quick, my love, catch it and put it in the plinth.
Got it!
Well, would you look at that? I didn't know lava could consume a body so quickly.
Now I'll never get my deposit back on that tiara.
Pleased to be seizing him.
No, wait, stop! Damn it, Swash! You haven't seen the last of me! You haven't seen the last of Professor Loveness of Gold!
Well, Mau, all's well that ends well.
Well, apart from Lady Telephone, or the miner you hit, or the traffic warden I hit, or Luigi.
Or I suppose for ourselves. When the museum finds out we dropped the Ruby Garnet into a volcano.
Yes, this is quite a pickle.
I suppose a ruby emerald is worth about the same as a ruby garnet.
And the ruby diamond must be worth a couple of plane tickets.
Probably with enough change to get one of us drunk and laid.
I'll go and see if the horses are coming down yet.
You do that, Mau. You do that. And I'll just swipe these.
empty this trample henchman's pockets, and we'll be on our merry way.
Thus concludes the case of the curse of the Ruby Garnet. But Hieronymus Swash will return in 40 million leagues under the sea.
And we have quite the treat for you in the studio right now. It's Leroy LaToc. Take it away, Leroy.
Dream the rat, rat on, rat, 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 whatever will, why? Thesaurus, tranquil mobility, dreams are rats, rats are dreams.
This one's called Dream of Borges. I have seen this cat before, doing the same things, in the same way, in some place else, not here. A little street, dusty windows and balconets overhead, cobbles reaching a curb, or not, tarmac overshadowed by glass-faced offices, or towers of data. But the cat remains the same. What if I am not me at all, but only memories, played over and over, or memories of memories, or nothing at all, but electric pulses, blue and red, on a tessellating grid, outriding on machines of our own imaginations and selves, with a man with a mustache who made his own costume? What if I am Trongai, and Trongai is me, and our existence is only our own memories, and we are forever the same, forever alone, to live the same life, over and over, making our own costumes beside each other, never realizing one another's stitching skills and understated creativity. And that's from Marion in Freetown. Thank you very much for that, Marion. So we were talking about a rat, a very special rat.
Very special.
Very special, but not special needs.
No.
Well,
in body, at
in
least.
body it was very special needs.
Yes.
Yeah, it needed a tiny bullet going into its tiny brain.
Now, I like to imagine it in one of those little electronic wheelchairs with a little joystick.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no, the ones you have to blow into a tube to kind of...
Oh my God, so it's paralysed from the neck down.
Yeah.
Then, right. But apart from that, give it a maths test, give it a physics exam, it would ace it.
Oh, yeah. Well, unencumbered by the physical form, it can now... It's unencumbered to finally pursue all those intellectual bits and bobs.
Right, yeah. In many ways, it will turn round one day to its tutors or whatever and say, being put into this wheelchair, in many ways, was the best thing that ever happened to me.
It was a blessing.
It was a blessing, yeah.
And they have tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
I've never been more proud.
Yeah. It really
this is why I got into teaching.
Yeah, it really helped me focus on working out the mass of Pluto's moons. And I wouldn't have done that if I was still, swinging Dick Jock.
Yeah. So are you going to cite us with any credit for helping you as far along as we have? Fuck off!
So I heard that in London, you're never more than 6 feet, which is, I think, about 8,000 metres away from... This is what we're going to do, right? We're always going to get it wrong. Away from a rat.
I had the exact same thing, and I'm not...
I think we're going to say the opposite. You're always, millions... In London is like the anti-rat capital.
No, I was going to say it's less than 6 feet. You're actually given a rat to handle. So how? Yeah. I mean,
a rat is actually inside your bloodstream.
It operates as the Oyster card does, and it's what you exchange for. Yeah. All these crushed rats on the other sides of ticket barriers.
They're very old ticket barriers, so you really have to whack the rat down with some force.
No, you just have to feed it in that little in the traditional ticket slot. You're really mashing it in. When you see these barriers when you go through London now, and they're all just dripping with blood every time, everywhere you go.
Twitching tails. Obviously, that statistic would mean that rats have divided themselves up into some sort of grid system, which they haven't. I mean, obviously, when you see rats, there's 100 altogether, they're having a big old gangbang. But, which I guess means you're probably quite far away from a rat until you're very close to many rats.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a bullshit statistic. It's always about a mean or something, or a median or something like that, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the cable car going over the Thames, you're not near a rat, are you?
You never know.
There's probably one operating it. Oh, fucking hell, sorry. Sorry, Jim. So, what do you think about that then? I mean, okay, maybe a bullshit statistic, but it does reflect the rat population in London. I guess it's a dirty city. We both live
gotcha.
there.
Yeah. It's there's a lot for them to fucking thrive on. Yeah, as you say, there's only like a few pockets of London which are very plush.
Yeah.
Or let's say
even,
plush,
even
but
then the streets are dirty.
yeah, I would say there's some areas that are plush, but there's a smaller number, and they don't exactly correlate. Thank you, of places that are actually like vaguely hygienic.
Right.
Yeah, as you say, the rest of it is just fucking filth.
Yeah, I mean, I remember thinking that I've never seen like a whole McDonald's meal discarded before. Like, we're both from the same place. Well, we're not both from the same place, but we both lived in the same place up north, which is definitely the dirty stuff there. You know, you get people like who drop a burger wrapper or who drop, not a can of Coke, but like a paper cup of Coke, like a
Right,
really big
yeah.
one, right? You see that all the time, but I've never actually seen in the gutter a whole McDonald's meal that's been eaten, but then just discarded, like the whole thing, like on a tray.
Fucking hell, really?
Yeah, and I used to see that in London all the time. Maybe not on the tray, but you know what I mean? Like everything. Like somebody had sat down in the gutter, they'd eaten everything, and they just left it there.
Yeah, I've seen all sorts in bins. I mean, like the tipping situation in some places is fucking ridiculous. But
Yeah, we didn't have a bin, did we?
No, I mean,
A trash can.
wasn't there? I seem to remember like our downstairs neighbours would just cake that fucking front lawn
With
all sorts. Yeah, I wasn't. We weren't sure if they were moving or they were just tipping. Shit.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, because there's no trash can, so you just put out a bin bag, and then the garbage men come and take it away, like every 2 weeks. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot in that fucking neighbourhood like that.
Yeah.
We really was like we were on the threshold of Chiswick, which in itself is a kind of nice area.
Yeah.
But I always remember the terrace houses around there look fucking depressing as fuck.
Yeah, I think we were a bit north of the DMZ,
Yeah.
but only just.
But it was
you're right.
like we always used to laugh at it. It was almost fucking cliche because it was
Yeah.
it was on. There was like a railway station in between, and we'd
Yeah.
have to we'd go over the fucking level crossing, or whatever. But we literally were on the wrong side of the fucking
tracks.
track.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say rats are a massive problem for me. I've always thought it was the foxes. Yeah, we used to get loads around there, and
Yeah.
and we used to have. Yeah, I thought we had problems with our downstairs neighbours because they would never put shit in bags.
You see, here's the thing, right? Like, where I live now in Mexico, you buy your own bin.
Mm-hmm.
You buy your own bin. You leave it on the curb. They come and they take the bags away, right? And they do that as often as you want.
Mm-hmm.
You just put your stuff out, not as often as you want, but they come like twice a week. I never empty my bin twice a week. I don't need to, but if I wanted to, I could. I just leave the bin there and they'll take it. In London, if you bought a bin and you put your garbage in the bin and you wrote a little note saying, "Hey, Mr. Bin Man, please just open the bin up and take my garbage out and put it in your wagon,"
Yeah.
they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't fucking go anywhere near your bin.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's so full of bureaucracy. That they follow the rules so strictly, not because it's logical or anything, but just because they don't have to think about it.
Well, I always figured in the case of bin men, it's not that they're following it to a T because of that fucking discipline. I just figured it was an act of laziness. They've been given like something that they've been given an inch and they take a fucking mile. And I've had problems with bins where if you've got the lid, if it's overflowing, you can have like a 2-inch clearance on the fucking lid, and they will be like, "I'm sorry, but no."
Yeah, and that's great because actually that solves both our problems because you don't have to take it, and I'll just dump it on the street then. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
you're not going to take my garbage for another 2 weeks. It's going to be a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think almost everywhere in England now, they only empty the bins every 2 weeks.
Yeah, because what they do now, they've got one bin. You've got one bin for your general waste, and now you're recycling. So you've got everything on a fortnight rotation.
Yeah.
Which is it used to be a nightmare until I figured out that I don't really give a fuck what I put in the recycling bin at all.
Well, what about my kids' diapers? Like, you can't recycle them, so they're just going to sit there in that bin for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
strictly
'em.
fucking festooned with that shit.
Fucking idiots. I think you should just tip in your own garden. Just have a constant fire. Get a couple of nice tyres going. Throw your nappies on. Close the windows. Seal them up. Don't worry about it.
Call the fire brigade just in case.
Just
It
say,
looks like it's starting to spread. Don't worry, have a coffee.
You're like, listen, I've started a fire. I'm not going to tell you where because you'll put it out. But I want you to be in the neighbourhood that it's in, just in case it gets out of hand.
Do you reckon they get a lot of calls like that?
I don't
Maybe
know.
around Acton, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that that cities are generally quite disgusting and dirty. I mean, the only city I've ever seen somebody taking a shit in on the street in daylight was Mexico City, right? And that definitely can be quite dirty. The dirtiest place I've ever been to is Naples in Italy.
Oh yeah,
because the garbage men were on strike for 2 years.
right, okay.
And there were literally like tenement block sized blocks of garbage.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean there were rats just on the streets. It was kind of like that's what a city would look like 8 or 9 years after a nuclear war.
Right, okay.
Like it's recovering, but they still quite haven't sorted the water out yet. You know, I mean,
I've never really had that much of a fucking vermin problem in London. I mean, I'd see a lot of foxes at night, but that's by the by. I don't really give much of a shit about it, honestly.
and
But
do you know what? I think that if you look at it, everyone gives foxes a bad rap, but they contribute more to the economy than they take away.
back that up, please. Please do elaborate. I'm sure.
Well, because they keep.
They do probably do more fucking waste refuge management than the fucking bin men do in a lot of regards.
Yeah, I think so. I think that they highlight an important issue, which is take my fucking bins out.
New York is like I've seen the most scum in one place than I've ever seen. And
Hey, they've had a tough few years, mate. You know.
this was like 6 years ago. They got no fucking excuse.
What? Okay, fine. Yeah, because all the tragedy in New York has happened since then.
Oh yeah. Nothing happened before that. Yeah, it's squeaky clean.
Yeah.
It was the most vermin I've ever seen in one place. It's when I was going down to the Staten Island ferry station. I don't know the name of the area. There's a park outside, and I just remember seeing what I can only call legitimately a swarm of rats.
A rat king.
There might have been a king amongst the rats. I don't know. I mean, someone must have been taking at the helm there because there was fucking dozens of the fuckers.
Yeah.
I've never seen that many rats together. And they're all kind of moving in packs and stuff, like basically just combing over bins, wiping things out like systematically. It was unbelievable. I mean, you could approach these things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the dead of night, you know.
Right.
I would say that. I don't think these things are necessarily nocturnal, but you think, you pick a time of day for safety's sake. But this is like 5 o'clock. The sun's just starting to set. It's still pretty bright out.
Yeah.
But they're just out there not giving a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can walk up to them. They seem so nonplussed by people.
Yeah.
They'll keep their distance, but it's unbelievable. I mean, that's obviously someone's, part of someone's daily routine to see that all the fucking. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it must happen all the time. And you think it would be pretty easy to get on top of, really.
I mean, they haven't
Big old
done
swarm
it,
of rats,
so
yeah.
you just gas the park, I suppose.
Yeah, or just have a couple of guys there with air rifles for the day.
I mean, if like what we kind of started with is the whole, you're never more than 6 feet away. I mean, if that's what you see on the fucking surface, I mean, God knows how many fucking millions they must have in that fucking city underground.
Yeah, that is kind of gross, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly kind of freaked out by rats, but I mean, like the sheer numbers are fucking terrifying. I mean, what I saw there I wasn't exactly comfortable with. I mean, if that started running all over me, I'd be like, what the fuck do I do?
If they started running all over... I suppose if anything did, like if like 7 or 8 dogs started to run all over you.
I might laugh at first.
Maybe what New York needs is that it needs more stray cats and dogs. Because dogs will kill rats, right? I always thought, like, how come your dog didn't kill Jack the Rat? I can't believe I'm calling him Jack the Rat. How come your dog didn't kill Jack the Rat?
Oh, she was old at that point. And she was a really bad-tempered, lazy fuck.
Oh, right.
Like Twilight years.
Yeah, but what about your dog, not your dad? Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of appalling, but also at the same time, it's a big city. Any big cities.
I know.
But New York, you think is particularly.
Yeah,
bad.
I thought I expected a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was something they kind of would be on top of.
Probably all coming off Wall Street.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
In the fucking.
They're all in that tiny little
stripes.
suits.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Be sure to check us out on SoundCloud if you're not already on there, because you can download this podcast and all our other podcasts from there. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, good. That is great. Nothing else to say.
Yeah,
about that.
like, comment, subscribe.
If you're not, you can watch this on YouTube as well as listen to it, should you want to. There's loads of stuff on YouTube, isn't there?
There's a metric fuck ton.
I saw a video about a ship. Bye!
Great sign off there. Just like a pro.